Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing today? It's good to see all of you. Captain Ganja with the 23. Thank you, my friend. Go Bulldogs, Casey, Cotton Candy, Mrs. M, Stone Fox, Linda Lou Who, Casual Art, Just Samantha, Hummingbird, Lyra, Kraken, Scotty, Caroline, Ryan, Nicole G. So good to see all of you so early morning. Trigger Mitt, Happy Beach. Oh man, I wish I wish it wasn't winter over here. Uninvited Ghetto Superstar. Andy C. Good morning, Betty. Miriam, Thomas, Poetic Justice, Stephanie, Hello One, Cinda, your Kiwi mate. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as Idaho 4. Lisa Durr, new kid in town with number 16. Sorry. Hey, Tennessee Road. Tinkerbug, Nosy Bish, Stack, Lee the Bee, T-Berry, Tia, Titanium Build, RLA, and Mama 3. Thank you for being a member here with us. I really appreciate you. Hey, Pristine. Click on and here you are. Butter. I don't like intros either. Hey, Kelly. I really don't care for them. Hey, Lori. Lady Tiger Official. Oh my gosh, I know. I can't do it. I can't do this weather. WIS Mom. I need to actually I need to go to Target and Walmart and all the places, and I can't get myself to leave in this weather because I hate it. I hate it so much. Hey, Stassi. Oh, it's the worst. Train wreck lover. I want the orange hoodie. I have a feeling some people will be getting an orange hoodie. Maybe not a hoodie, but definitely an orange jumpsuit. Hey, Kels. I live in an apartment and the lady above me turns her heat on, so I don't have to turn my heat on all winter. That actually works out good for you. Hey, B. It's 43 now. I'm going to be 67. Oh, I'm jealous. Hey, Jay Kels. Hey, Hindsight. Good morning, Lily Rose. Crafts and Crime. Good morning, Gary. Petty AF. Hey, beautiful. Hope you're doing good. Keep being you, my lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a member here with us. You guys are the best MFers there ever was. Hey, true friends. 28 degrees. Huh. I'm sorry. I'm moving. I can't do it. Ooh, I've been up since 3 a.m. I'm super angry. I can't sleep through the night anymore. I'm so sorry. That actually really sucks. Dude, if I stay awake past like 11 p.m., I can't function correctly the next morning. I'm tired. I'm dragging. I don't know how some of these people do it, to be honest. Hey, Amy. Carissa, good morning. Newfie. See, me and you, we belong together, palm tree lover. It is way too cold. 20 here? Ugh. I don't even know the actual temperature. I just know it's freaking cold. 12 degrees in Michigan. That's it. Mm-mm. Good morning, Casual. Thank you for being a member for 6 months. 36 degrees right now. Spring comes soon. Yes. Yes. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Adam, good morning. Peaky, good freezing morning. 27 degrees here in Jersey. I can't do it. I'm serious. I can't do it. Do you like Grandma used to preheat the oven to 400 and open the door? Yeah, how did people survive without? Yeah, I mean, we are spoiled compared, right? And I don't know. I mean, I even have the fancy thing to start my car for me in the morning. Push the button, it preheats. But it's still freezing. Hey, Aristocat. Jay, good morning. Number 75. What was I just about to look? Oh, okay. So wait, 3 degrees. No way, Cheryl. 9 degrees. You're right, Raven. You were so lucky. 66 degrees in Florida. And I guess that's cold for you guys, right? Smiley showed an email. I didn't. What was it? What was Smiley's email? Hey, Naysayer. Hey, Jay. Hey, Forever Army. Cinder. Yeah, I guess that's what it is about that here. Hey, Case. I said hi to you already. Okay. I woke up to snow this morning. See, I don't want snow right before the weekend, right? Like, give me snow when we have nothing to do, when we're not in holiday rush. Then give me snow. All right. Let's check this out. Nope, nothing yet. All right. -9 Celsius here. Oof. Hey, Donnie. Never thought that. Press release. Please. Please. We did see the drones. I don't think they're being honest about what they are, obviously. Like, if it's our military, just tell us that, right? If, I don't know, it's just weird. All right, if you could, get me a timestamp and send it to my email, please. Sorry, I know you guys can hear when I type. I'm trying to be softer, but 39 and raining. Great day for a funeral. Oh, do you have a funeral today? I hope you don't. Hey, Gilded. They just keep droning on. Why don't we send the intelligence agency? Go check that one out, would you? Go tell us. Is it a drone or an airplane? Because I'll tell you what, if we couldn't figure out if it was a male or a female, I'm a bit concerned. I'm not going to lie, it's a bit concerning. We've heard for weeks it was a green hoodie guy. And then the minute that gets put out into the universe and people start speculating, and they believe it's Mrs. Bowersox. Now it's green hoodie woman. Whoa, whoa. What gave you that idea? Holy shit. Wow. How much intelligence did it take for that? Yikes. But seriously, how many times a week are we going to have like urgent press release? Breaking news. This just in. Turns out green hoodie guy is not a guy. It's a woman. All right, well, now you got me having to do it sooner. Give me 1 second. Good morning, Shell. Let me check it out. Dang, it's hard to keep up with some of you. There's like 2-3 streams a day. All right. Let's see what my girl got going on over here. Pardon me, just that's Lolly. That doesn't show. Mrs. Fletcher, thank you so much. A woman? Yeah. Uh-huh. Right, next will be a cat or a dog. So it can't be this because this is showing. Oh, I see it here. All right, hold on. Just a second. So I'm not too sure what you're telling me to see here, other than these guys are personally emailing creators. Is that what I'm supposed to be saying? Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, is anybody shocked? I've been telling you there is likely an enterprise going on, but it ain't coming from this direction. Hey, Billy. Hey, Jinx. So I'm not quite shocked that they are emailing creators the information to go off of. And these people feel all, oh, we're so special. We're on the special VIP list. Yeah, of useful idiots. Well, you know what? There's more than enough to show it, but I think it just confirms it. So for those who aren't aware, it turns out that Smiley shows that she receives an email. It's kind of blurry, so I can't really see who it's from and everything, but basically giving her the breaking news. Breaking update type of thing. Well, it proves that whatever Dolly said is a lie, because Dolly said the neighbor person, which, whatever, Dolly said that that person told him that this person's name was Danny. Obviously not, unless it's short for Danielle. But what do we know? Danny is also the name of the alleged cousin that hosted the alleged poker game. I mean, they're really good at doing what they're doing, but I don't understand what they're quite doing, to be honest. So what I am going to show you is what I perceived from what was shown, and you all tell me what you think. And again, we don't know. We don't know. What I do know is we were told it was Green Hoodie Guy until they went around saying, until people started speculating it was Mrs. Bowersox, and now they're saying it's a woman. That much I know for sure. Right. He was 7 years old when he gave birth to a son that was 34. You know what cracks me up about these people is they want to hide their own skeletons. They don't want anybody to talk about their real lives or their families or any of that. Rightfully so, right? I mean, let's be honest, nobody does. But they can go around, they can make up stupid speculation like this where they can't even use their logic. So at 7 years old, Christopher Proudfoot became a father. You fucking people. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. Good morning, Sassy Hound. Good morning, Jem. We're trying to suggest that is Katie's mom. Right, of course they are. And I guarantee they gave that to a few creators to drop it into the speculation bucket. And their subscribers ran with it like they solved it riddle. Like, oh my goodness, it's Mrs. Bowersox. And now they come out breaking news. Green Hoodie is no longer a man. It is a woman. It's all a crock of shit. So, of course, you know, they got to put their emblem on it because they need their credit. Do your thing. $500,000 to retain you, but you need credit on this shit. Okay. Oh, wrong one. Share this tab. Let me fix my bubbly face up there. You know what they really need to solve? Figure out who the fuck is some of the people that you support, whose photo they're using on their avatar. That is the real mystery here. Because, Lord, when those cam slips be slipping, ooh, I can't tell if it's a man or a woman. Oh. All right. Anyway, so here's their break-in revelation, right? So this person they're claiming walks out of the bushes. Comes from the bushes. Dun, dun, dun. But right on the other side of the bush is a parking lot. So it's like a little island, right? So this green hoodie now woman comes through the bushes. Now what we do see is they walk directly across, which happens to be where Katie's car is parked. Now, a lot of people originally questioned why they didn't go to the big open space. Well, as you can see here, that space was not opened. There was a car there. I mean, if there was a little space, this yellow space. But anyway, so they just, you know, this person's on a run. They got to take a shit, okay? They got to take a leak, a crap, whatever you want to call it. So they shoot directly across, right? Appears out of the bushes. And they just go right across what happens to be where's Katie's car. Then proceeds the interaction of Katie not seeing this person when she turns the corner. Then they meet each other. I heard one idiot say she goes beyond her door. Well, yeah, you have to go beyond the door to open the door. I know a lot of you people don't leave your houses, right? But that's how it operates. You can't open your car door from standing next to it. You'll hit yourself. You have to go past the car door, then open it. I know. Keep up with me here. Logic ain't logicking. So that's what happens. And then that person puts their hands up like, sorry, as they're sideways and they squeeze through. Then they go into the restroom. And boom. Now, if this person was involved in a kidnapping, one, would they park right in front of the cameras? Would they park in the front row? Two, would they then enter the establishment and take no precautions to cover their face? Because you see it right here. They're not hiding anything. They're right on camera. This would be the dumbest place. And then, so then they leave out the restaurant and they go back across the bush, right? Let me show you what's on the other side. Parking. Parking. Right, they got it. When you got to go, you got to go. Hey, Mom Boss Mayo, thank you. So this is the parking lot. This is, right here would be where they were. This is the pickup window. Let me see. Can I zoom in on this? No, the bigger you try to make it, gets smaller. So anyway, this is the pickup window. This is the pickup line, apparently. That's what I'm being told. So people park here when they're doing drive side or curbside pickup. On the other side of this bush that they're saying is another parking lot. So see this car here? Green Hoodie could have simply been parked over there and crossed through to use the restroom and then left back out. Instead of entering the busy parking lot, seeking for parking, their friends simply could have pulled over there and let them out to use the restroom, because when you got to go, you got to go. Or they could be a homeless person. They could be an innocent person. I saw somebody write this morning, well, what's the problem with, just looking into it? What's the harm in that? Well, the harm is they're not just looking into it, they're implicating this person in a crime. I would say that's the first harmful thing, is implicating this person in a crime. Or a DoorDash driver, Nicole G. Very good point. The second problem I would say there could be with this is if these people were involved, you now just alerted them that people are onto them. Nobody knew. Electro, nobody knew. Right. If you have to use the bathroom, you got to look for a place like that. And you usually do just kind of, you hover your ass in there, use the restroom, and you leave out quickly. You're not going to stop and talk to the waitress. You're not going to stop and stare. You're going to get in, use your business, do your business, and leave. That's it. That's what I'm saying. They just needed the loo. I love the way you guys say that. Give them the loo. Give them the loo. Good morning, Shelly. I received wonderful, beautiful handmade crisps from you. Thank you so much. I don't either. And if they want us to see something nefarious, then at first, at least tell us. If it's do your investigation before you release it. Because their investigation said it was Green Hoodie guy. So much so that Dolly was confident that the person's name could be Danny. Now we find out, no, it's a woman. What's next? It's a UFO? It's an alien? Right, Krista. Thank you for being a member here. There was more than a minute interaction with KP and reality video was sped up. Please don't get me started. Everything is slowed down in that person's world. It was less than a 22-second interaction. From the minute Katie and Sebastian got up from their table into their vehicle, it was less than 22 seconds. That's it. Less than 22 seconds. These fucking people, man, I'll tell you. Geniuses. She probably could, Denny. You better watch out. I have not, Berkshire. I'll take a look. Right. And listen, I'm not from this area. If anybody is, let me know. Is there a heavy homeless population? Is DoorDashing popular in that area? I mean, you can look and see. This is allegedly just, again, this is meant to be for pickup drop-off. Not pickup drop-off. I'm thinking of school. I'm sorry. damn near wanted to fight somebody this morning when they sat there and took all that time to get little Timmy out their car. Like, we are on a time limit, damn it. This is meant to be the area where if you're doing the grab to go type of dining, you go up to the window, you pay, they give you your food, you leave. That's supposed to be this parking. Okay? These parking spots are tight. The person appeared from the shrubs, like they were sitting there they were waiting and watching from the bushes. Those bushes barely exist. They ain't hiding that big ass woman, man, person, green hoodie. Green hoodie ain't fucking sitting in the bushes for hours waiting. I mean, come on. You can see right through the bushes. Again, there's a car there, which means on the other side is parking spots. Have none of you ever been out and you had to use the restroom really bad? I mean, it could be as innocent as that. Or they could be involved in a kidnapping. For people to imply that's Terry Bowersox, dude, I'll tell you what. I would be suing the pants off of all these MFers. I would. Oh, who said that, Bruin Hell? You can't tell what this person is. Oh, boy, I'll tell you. The person was being nice and just letting her through to let her go to her car, right? I mean, again, you can see it. They appear out of the bushes, right? Cars are waiting for their pickup or they're parked, who knows? They come out. They go directly across what happens to be. I mean, look, it's a straight line. They came out of here. They go straight across. They're not zigzagging. They're going straight across. It happens to be Katie's car. Sebastian sees the person first. Katie doesn't. The person's right here at this point. Katie's here. Katie here, person there. Katie goes to turn, not seeing them. The person goes, oh, sorry, backs up. Katie goes past her car door to open it, gets in the vehicle, and this person simply puts up their hands and then, sorry, like squeezing by, sorry again, have a great night. Good golly, I don't get it. Do we have to look at it as if it's something horrible to see what they're saying? Honestly, because I don't see it. I would love somebody who thinks there's something bad here to come in and come up and tell me what it is that you see that I'm just not seeing. Because I don't get it. And again, even if this was something to see, don't you think the police would have seen it? Don't you think Seth Rogers would have seen it when he said nothing? No, Katie did not interact with anybody. Nothing was shady. Nothing was weird. I mean, look who the geniuses are that are solving this. Let's see. I'm genuinely curious. How did this video get released? From them, from the private investigators, which ironically, Sumner County came out and said less than credible people are spreading information. I don't understand how people don't see this as dangerous. So anyway, let's read what SF says here. He says, once again, at night, and a man calling himself Dog, desperate for views and attention, are attempting to respin their failed narrative. And they did fail because they said it was a man when it wasn't. Okay, they did fail. An intelligence agency couldn't figure out if a quote unquote person of interest was male or female. This time, they're claiming that the green hoodie was stalking the restaurant from the bushes. Cue the old laying in wait plot twist. Fortunately, I've taken plenty of footage this week from the Texas Roadhouse. The so-called bushes are nothing more than a row of mostly dying shrubs that no one could reasonably hide behind. These shrubs divide a row of parking spots that run parallel to the restaurant. At night, not to be confused with at night, because Texas Roadhouse is actually legit, this area is used as a pickup line for vehicles retrieving to-go orders. This explains why, in the video, the two men at the to-go counter simultaneously turn their heads. At night, not so legit group tries to frame this as something nefarious when, in reality, it's just someone in a vehicle calling out to let the men know they've arrived for their order. And guess what's behind those bushes, where at night wants you to believe a child predator is lurking? More parking spots. Once again, their spin is as flat as their so-called injunction. Why isn't anyone asking for an answer about that? Yeah. What's going on with that? Huh? What's going on with that? Where's that judge? All right. At night, pass this narrative out as a press release to YouTube channels pass out. I know. And that's why they all come out with the same shit at the same time. And the more people come out with the same shit at the same time, it seems like it's credible. Which tells me again, who's running a RICO? Who is running the RICO? Hey, Ronnie. I don't know between the four images if it's Miss Piggy, a lady, a man with a little beard, or Donald Trump's sister. Like, let's keep going. Like, let's keep it 100. Right. Didn't come out because Seth made the reports that were deemed false. He does say he wrote it. Yeah, Jem, what's going on with that? Why is Seth even allowed this shit? What the fuck? Come on, dude, stop. Yeah. That's my question. How did they get all this footage? Pretty sure Ellie didn't share it. Is it Texas Roadhouse in the habit of just giving out footage like this? I don't know. But if this person gets hurt because they're being implicated in a crime and their photos being passed around, well, they might have themselves a little everybody's litigious now. And that SF said, oh, please, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. I don't think Katie saw the person at her car. I don't. I think she was just kind of walking. I don't think she saw them. I'll tell you what. Why don't they release the footage, not slow down, not mess with, and just release it? And the same goes to SF. If you have this footage, then release it. Let us see it for an actual time. Let us see it without you slowing it down, manipulating it. Just let us see the footage. Hey, Pie Needle. Good morning. I think that would be a great idea. Anybody else agree with that? Just let us see the damn footage. I noticed that they lowered the reward fund. It's back to 250,000, not 250,000, 155 or whatever bullshit they had. So that's good. They stopped using a reward fund for a missing child to harass family members. So that's nice. Right. She probably had no idea. I mean, my golly, do you know how many people I pass any given day? Exactly, Kelsey. This video would have been a big deal with Ellie. It's the last sighting of Sebastian. No way they would allow this if it was important to the case. Green hoodie gang gang. I will personally go to TBI and FBI and turn in every single creator that mentioned her. This needs to stop. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Night Star. Good morning, Midwest. Yeah, it's lowered. No. Yeah, they lowered it. Well, they actually raised it, right? Technically. They raised it another because now it's 250, not 225. So just, if they're so close, why do they keep raising it? Do you think raising a reward fund as rapidly as they have is a good idea? I don't. And let me tell you why. Because raising it Well, if I knew something and I know that you guys are in the business of raising rapidly the reward fund, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until it's damn near 3K because every other week you're raising it by 25. I think she was holding a key fob, unlocking her car door, and the dude just passed by on his way to the restaurant. That's simple. Lori, proud to be in a company of many OGs here. You are freaking amazing. 34 months. Thank you so much for everything you have done. Hey, Manic Mama. Middle or stream last night, she got all excited saying the reward is at 250,000. Shut up. Shut up, you little fucking enterprise. Shut up. Say it louder, chaps. Can you say that again for us? Do people not understand if they give any tips to them instead of law enforcement, they ain't getting no reward? The reward is pledged. It is pledged. When questioned about the reward, he said, well, it's not like we're a church, but, you know, basically their audience is going to pay for it. This whole thing's become ridiculous, hasn't it? Damn, I didn't even realize it was Friday the 13th shift. Thank you for pointing that out. Happy Friday to you. So let's carry on. Carry on my wayward girl. Because they didn't want you to know the truth about who. See, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. The fucking immaturity. These people are having an ego fight when it's coming to a missing child. Okay? That's what I see. I see these people having a war of egos pertaining to a missing child. So now we got Dwayne Chapman makes an update. Dog Nation. Ruff, ruff. This so-called alleged private investigator. I mean, it's not alleged. He's not a so-called. Unlike all of you, he actually is a private investigator. He didn't just change his name one day. He didn't start off as Stephen Fisher and then go to Stephen Fisher, private investigator. No. He actually did the steps it needed. He was supposed to take to become who he is. Hey, Cass. Hold on, let me finish.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
This is crazy.
I know. Let me finish out what he had to say here.
Right.
So Dog Nation. Well, right there is like calling for, like, that's like me being like, MFers, unite. Similar, what did Trump say? Like, stand down, but stand by, stand up, but stand by, something like that. Anyway, yeah, it's called inciting the masses. Dog Nation. All right. This so-called alleged private investigator claimed his clients, the Proudfoots, are under extreme pressure. Damn, I didn't know he said it like that, but okay. Maybe that's because they didn't want you to know the truth about who Green Hoodie really is. They said it was an elderly man, but guess what? It's a woman. Does they mean 3 to 4 people involved? What? Does they mean 3 to 4 people? What the fuck are you talking about, dog? On top of several other felonies which carry life sentences? Are they also afraid of conspiracy charges? Bruh. Last chance. Reward $250,000. Call 833. Fuck off.
Oh my.
Dude, the whole thing's fucking wild. It is so reckless. It's so stupid. It's so juvenile.
Wasn't Dolly the one saying that it wasn't a guy, it's a woman?
I don't know. Dolly said it was the person that emailed him said it was Danny.
When I was watching, because I was going to review, I was watching a little bit of Dolly, and he kept insisting that the Green Hoodie was a woman, not a man, that he could see boobs.
Well, I don't know. I want to know why these private investigators, this intelligence agency, couldn't figure that out. Yeah. That was hysterical when Trevor Lee said that, like, Dog's a bounty hunter. He's not a, investigator. He doesn't find missing people. And Betty went on this whole like, he doesn't even know. he doesn't know that bounty hunters find missing people. No, they don't. Bounty hunters find criminals that are hiding. Bounty hunters are given all of the details to find said person. When you get it, when you have to hire a bonds bails company, they get everything: your address, your relatives, your you more than likely have somebody's property on the line. So when this person comes up, quote unquote, missing, they're not missing, they're hiding. They know right where to go. We're going to go to your family members. Remember, your house is on the line. You better tell us everybody Johnny speaks to. And 9 times out of 10, Johnny is an addict who's not really difficult to find, especially on a small island, but okay.
Yeah, dog hunted down bail absconders. Most of them were low-level bail, and a lot of them were people that bailed out. So they knew where to go look for them at.
Right. And they're small little areas. It's no comparison to a missing person. There's none.
Yeah.
Chaos and Roses, thank you so much. Thank you for the super sticker. Kath, what do you do? Do you wear headphones or something?
No, is it too loud?
No, but your audio sucks every time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on.
It has a weird feedback to it. Are you on a phone or are you on a tablet?
No, I'm on my phone.
Okay, that's likely why. I just bought this little phone microphone thing. It was like $15. I'm going to send you the link to it. Maybe I can help, because that's all you need is just a microphone on it. The lizard lick towing was proven fake too. I don't even know what that is. What do you think, Kath? Do you think they solved the mystery?
No, there was no mystery to solve. This was 2 people who just happened to be at the same, God forbid, public restaurant having a meal that passed each other in the parking lot.
You know what?
What's the handoff? I have scoured that video. I can't see it.
Me neither. Me neither. And you know what? I wish they'd give us the entirety of it, because this is, I mean, first of all, this is dangerous. Yeah. It's absolutely dangerous. I'm telling you, the reason they are tweeting so much is because they're trying to get monetized, and you have to have a certain amount of interactions on your Twitter to get monetized.
She's right. She's 100% right. And he's made it clear over there that he wants to get that page monetized.
It's ridiculous, the whole thing.
What I don't understand, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around why Seth is supporting all of this and running with all this.
Yeah, me too. You know what else I'm having a hard time with? What type of fucking attorney sits around and tweets? I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with that as well. So for immediate release, why do they always put that? It's fucking social media for immediate release. Like they're of importance. It's a way to make them appear professional. It's a way to make them appear. You don't do that. You put that when you're putting that in like an email. Like say me and Kathy work together. We run a news company. I'm gonna email Kathy as my she represents the company. So I'm going to email Kathy and I'm going to say to Kathy for immediate release. And then Kathy's going to take the rest of that and release it. But she's not going to add for immediate release. It's not necessary. But now that we know this is exactly what they're all doing, they are all emailing amongst each other to put out the information at the same fucking time. Kind of like what would you call that? Maybe an enterprise, Kath?
Yeah, they have a very strong enterprise going.
Yeah.
Strong, I mean, they've got they got BHB, they got Griftum, they got that Julie. Oh Lord, have mercy with that one. She had a whole hour and a half meltdown because somebody said she blocked somebody.
So stupid.
I'm talking crying and all.
The lawyer page releasing his crap is fake. I contacted the email connected to the real one, first the fake page. The real lawyers do not have Twitter. I don't think I think you're wrong there, to be honest, OG, because I know that Lesniak is fully involved in all of this.
Oh, so, yeah. I think Nick is behind a lot of these posts that, even though it has the attorney's name and stuff on it, something tells me Nick's behind these posts.
Like he runs the social media accounts?
either runs it or has access to be able to post about it. And this just sounds like something he'd write.
Mm.
But that's just my opinion, you know. But yeah, they're very, yeah.
So
I would side-eye any attorney that would go along with any of this stuff.
Right. So he writes for immediate release, December 12th, 2024. Again, you don't have to put that, but okay. So hashtag Sebastian Rogers. This morning, I had the privilege of being briefed on engaging discussions between my clients who spoke with officials in Tennessee as they continue their unwavering pursuit to locate Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, a 16-year-old autistic teenager, and bring him home. We anticipate the imminent release of substantial news announcement today from Dwayne Dog Chapman throughout night. So let me show you what they did here.
Oh, no.
One, the big breaking news was that it was a woman. That was their breaking news. Two.
Yeah, well, I heard that days ago from Dolly, so.
Right. Two, what they did here is you have Joseph Lasniak, so now he gets his public recognition, who then tells you all to look towards Dog, who gets his public recognition, and then they advertise at night, who gets his public recognition, and don't forget Nick.
Mm-hmm.
America, it's up to us to ignite the light in the darkness. Only we have the power to spark it. The only thing you have the power to spark is a fucking racist tensions throughout our fucking township. That's what you sparked. But anyway, of course, they have this, and this is all yellow. Why? And then they have all this marked out, blank, 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 crossed out. Like, this is so fucking not professional. It's unbelievable. But they all get their moment in the spotlight.
Well, I think that it just continue to prove that you guys are really the ones with the enterprise.
I agree.
And that your court paperwork should be used as toilet paper. I mean, everything they put in the documents, they're doing.
Yep. And then even over here, right? It wasn't good enough that Lasniak did it. Now we need at night to do it too. So Dog the Bounty Hunters announced a significant update. Again, the update was that it was a fucking woman. Is poised to deliver pivotal update regarding the search for... What was pivotal about it? This development marks a significant moment and the ongoing... Because you finally figured out that it's a fucking woman? Am I wrong here?
No, I still don't understand what is so significant that they have done in this case other than continue to cause more chaos. What exactly have they done to help?
No, because every other day they're saying breaking news, breaking news. None of it's breaking news. It won't be breaking news until you bring them fucking home. The fact that you're calling this a pivotal moment, a significant update, the update will clarify the progress made and outline what information should be broadly shared to advance the search rather than hinder it. Really? So sending out emails to fucking moronic creators that had to use the fact that they were allegedly reached out to by FBI to even get their chats back being occupied as your significance. Because again, here's Smiley showing that she got an email from these guys telling her what to go live with.
Oh my. She let the cat... I've been off for a couple days and I just finally got back on yesterday, so I'm a couple days behind. So Smiley's finally produced said email, huh?
Oh, this isn't from the FBI. This is from Nick and them.
Nick,
this is their email, them telling them what to go live with. I know. Oh. I hope Justin gets fucking sued. I hope they all get sued.
But you're the enterprise.
Right,
you and Barbecue, who don't know each other, who don't communicate, who've never worked together. There's no emails like this on you with you and Barbecue involved, back and forth telling each other what to talk about, what not to talk about.
I never.
So come on, who's the enterprise here?
I never get emails telling me what to go live with, what to say, what's important. Never. What narrative to push. So people don't do their own research. They just go live with what they're told to go live about. Yes, precisely.
Seth, I'm sure that you listen to Granny, because something just tells me you do. Dude, please. I'm asking you as a parent, as a human being, as a mom, stop this. Dude, stop this. This is ridiculous. This is not helping. This is hindering. People aren't watching to try to find Sebastian. They're watching for the chaos, the drama. Please put your son first.
They're
That's
implicating
it.
people in a crime. That's what they're doing,
Yeah,
is implicating people in crimes.
exactly. And that's dangerous. And, you know, you got someone like you, like Granny, who has done none of the things you've claimed. And you're supporting in this, you're one of the people in this fake Rico stuff. It's ridiculous. Stop. Because you're messing with people's lives here. It's not right.
Yeah, I was hoping Sumner County was going to come out and say a lot more, but you can call them and they'll tell you things because we had to. But Sumner County, they came out and they give an update yesterday, the 12th. So, well, this article comes out the 12th. Nearly 10 months after disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, law enforcement and emergency personnel provided the first significant update in months on the case that has gripped the local community. This past weekend marks Sebastian's 16th birthday, a bittersweet milestone as the search for him continues under an active Amber Alert. So Craddock, who has been leading the investigation since Sebastian vanished, reiterated that he remains an active and ongoing case. It's not a cold case. It is an active and ongoing investigation. Since Sebastian's disappearance, hundreds of tips have pursued, yet there have been no confirmed sightings. Despite this lack of concrete evidence, the team remains undeterred. Craddock emphasized the importance of relying on verified facts and tangible leads rather than swirling rumors that frequently surface online. He states, while it's real easy to sit on social media and make those comments, he later goes on to call these people less than credible. Less than credible.
Well, he's being nice because I could come up with stronger words. And then we got one of them here, and they're supporting this, who is telling everybody and writing emails to the DA and calling the DA and Craddock and saying that they need to be arrested with these felony charges. Here's the felonies they did. I did the work for you. I researched the laws, telling them how to do their own laws. Once felony charges pressed against the Proudfoots by Seth. Good luck with that.
Yeah, she's
Good luck
an
with
idiot.
that.
An absolute idiot. I like this statement they make here, though. I've been transparent. There's some information that can't be released because it could be
I can't see it, so.
prejudicial. I don't know, but basically it means like
Prejudicial?
it can set, yeah, basically it can give you a jaded perspective on someone. So
Mhm.
they can't release it. And a successful resolution is my ultimate goal. So right there, they're telling you we have information, but if we go ahead and we tell you that information, it can create a bias. And with a bias, you are risking tainting the jury pool. These people don't care about actually successfully solving Sebastian's disappearance. They want clicks and views.
100%.
You wouldn't jeopardize the integrity of the case just so you could have a little social media clout. You just want it.
Mm-mm.
It breaks my heart that all of this is even going on.
Yeah. And Christmas is what, 12 days away? Come on now. This is not how you help a case. This is not how you help find someone. You got people who are down there really searching. You got SF and Steve who's down there all the time. They're always searching. They're always looking. That's actual searching. That's not staying online making posts.
Right. Right, but they still say, oh, they're searching because basically it doesn't matter which way you look at it. Those people say that everything that SF and those that are searching are doing, they're doing it to distract from the Proudfoots being guilty. And then the others, it's just all of it. It's became a pissing contest between people and their egos instead of being about Sebastian. It's absolutely horrible. Horrible.
It is.
We don't know who did what. We don't know who's guilty, who's innocent, who's what, who's not. What I do know is this type of behavior jeopardizes cases.
And why even take the risk, the chance of letting something out that could prevent that boy from being found and brought home?
Right.
Makes no sense.
No, it makes no
Hey,
sense
everybody
at
in
all.
chat. I can't type. It won't for some reason. I don't know. I've been having such a hard time with StreamYard.
It just seems like they're doing anything they can to keep the drama going, keep the speculation going, which I understand, and in turn keeps Sebastian's face out there. But you can do that without implicating people in crimes. You can do that without implying that Green Hoodie is Mrs. Bowersox. You can do that without, stating that SF isn't a real private investigator when none of you are credentialed. At least he has the credentials. None of them have credentials.
I'm sorry, but Green Hoodie is not Mrs. Bowersox.
Why would Green Hoodie be Mrs. Bowersox then go inside that restaurant and show her face?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Don't you think they would have hidden? Don't you think they would have put on a mask or something to hide themselves?
And law enforcement has clearly had these videos since the beginning because they showed them to Seth.
Exactly. Tara, let me break this down for you because you seem to be so fucking simple-minded based on what you've heard. I'm not lying on behalf of anybody. I don't think I'm lying. I am telling you from an adult perspective, not on this side or that side, the danger of what you all are doing. Okay. Secondly, tell me what father hits a kid in the head when he has brain injuries. They're all abusive. They've all had signs of abuse in Sebastian. Why do you ignore that?
Doesn't fit the narrative.
Right. Doesn't fit the narrative because the facts aren't salacious enough, because simply stating there was enough going on in Sebastian's life for him to run away doesn't give them what they want. Doesn't let you go on the internet and get your fucking hateful life pushed out to somebody else, does it? You don't get to shit your misery all over somebody else if that was the case. So ridiculous. Don't be a liar for the real liars. How do you know they're real liars? Seth Rogers himself said that they passed lie detector tests.
Yeah, but he refuses to, acknowledge that again. And he backtracks on everything. And that's, I keep trying to give him grace, but it gets harder and harder.
I know. I'm telling you.
And he wasn't beat. And number one, I think Chris and Katie were upfront and honest about that whole situation, which they didn't even need to bring up, but they did. And they were honest about it. Is it something I agree with? No. I'm not wasn't me, but they have twisted that into severe abuse that I just haven't seen any support of those accusations.
I think we've seen proof that both men in Sebastian's life have had CPS reports about them.
Yes.
And both times they have turned around and basically said the child exaggerated. That we have proof of from both of them.
Exactly. We don't have, they keep bringing up 5 other calls and they're all on Chris. No, number one, you don't know if there really is 5 other calls. You don't know who those reports were about or what it was about. So why are you throwing daggers at somebody without any factual evidence to back it up? You have Tony's word? Oh, please.
Well, if first off, if 5 CPS reports in that short period of time were made just because of Chris, then I think the police would know all of this, right? They would have all of this. So your first question has to be, well, why the CPS fail? Because in that case, CPS would fail. They would fail. Exactly. Because 5 calls, nobody did anything. You don't know that, Tara. I have experience
working with CPS for years, being a foster home. I've dealt with many case managers, you name it. Do you know how, if there was 5 calls in that short a period of time, there would have been an investigation. They wouldn't care They don't care if it's Chris and Katie or Seth or anybody. They're going to remove that child.
Well, not only that,
And
but
I've seen them do it. I've seen them remove a child until the investigation was complete.
Seth's own PI at the time said they were unsubstantiated.
Right.
That they
Unfounded.
that means, yeah, they weren't founded. They just weren't. There's nothing there. And Tara, you don't know what those reports were. You don't know that Seth had only one. You don't know that because, quite frankly, there were two. Because the school also called on Seth. So, matter of fact, there were three. Okay? Allegedly, there were three because you have Seth himself saying that the school called because Sebastian went there and said, my daddy beat my ass. And Seth, when asked, did you beat his ass? Well, no, he cleaned his room. So that's one. We have the other one that Katie made, showing bruising on Sebastian and the restraining order. So that's two. Then we have the one where Seth himself said, again, that he smacked that, or it was alleged that Seth smacked Sebastian in front of teachers, which resulted in a phone call.
Yes.
So that would be three. I mean, I'm not against what you're saying. I agree. Well, now you're just now you're just a fucking idiot. Now you're just a fucking idiot. We're all related. We're all related to them.
Oh gosh, I don't know them, never met them, never spoke to them. I couldn't even tell you what the Bauer Sox look like.
Even responding to that is just so fucking ludicrous. Just get them out of here.
Crazy.
Nobody has time for your stupidity.
That'll be in the next court document. Granny's related to them all.
What an idiot.
No, we're looking for evidence. I'm not going to accuse, and Granny's not going to accuse any of the parents of doing anything when there's no evidence of anything.
You're a fucking idiot, Tara. Why isn't she blocked yet? Nobody has time for you. If you don't have critical thinking skills, get the fuck off the internet. You sound stupid. You're all related. Every single one of us are related.
And this is just my opinion. This has nothing to do with Granny. I do think that he ran away, and I do think it was because of the home situation with all of them.
Well, if like Craddock said, if they came out with the real information, it could be harmful. So in the meantime, Seth has this free-for-all that he can push his narrative. He can push whatever he wants. Nobody's going to say anything because they don't know the fucking truth. They don't know. And he's not going to be honest about it. Everybody's digging into, the Bauer Sox. Well, where's Mrs. Rogers? Where are you at, Robin Rogers?
Yeah, the one who was doing all the crazy posting and there for a long time, huh? All of a sudden, she quit talking, and they, how come no one's looking into him and his family?
Right. They just kind of disappear. She admits that she knew that Sebastian was being abused, that she didn't say anything and Sebastian didn't say anything to protect Seth. Well, that's to me sounds like reasoning, but
No, I have issues with that statement too, but yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
I'm sorry, but if I know a child is being abused, I'm not going to sit by and let it happen.
Right. And she says that she knew Sebastian was experiencing abuse, and she believed that her son would do something that would destroy his life if he found out about it. So how do we know that she didn't do something to help Sebastian and also spare her son from ruining his life? How do we know that she didn't, orchestrate a kidnapping?
Sure, anything's a possibility. Everything should be on the table because nobody has been cleared.
It's ridiculous. The whole thing's ridiculous. People just don't listen. Donna, thank you. SF and Aprofos got permission to help investigate. Now Dolly's claiming Green Hoodie is Katie's mom. Yeah. Shame on you, Dolly.
And it's clear that she's had no relationship with her biological family for a long while. They have never even met Sebastian.
These people are ridiculous.
And if there was any proof if there was proof, any evidence that any of them were involved, I do believe, as much as law enforcement has done in this case, they would have acted on that. And we would have known by now.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because to be honest, they could be building a case. They could be, there could be, you know, hey, Sasha, there could be no actual evidence, so they have to build a case and do these deep investigations, which require warrants and all types of things. It's not as
Yeah.
easily done as people think. It's not as quickly done. But we've seen
No.
this in the Idaho 4. A footage came out with a guy in a hoodie, and all of a sudden people were implicating that person in a crime. That person was never involved. The whole time the police had their suspect. They just didn't tell the public. But people
Right.
tore that hoodie guy apart, saying this hoodie guy was involved and how
Oh, yeah.
weird. And you don't know. We don't know what they're doing. We have no idea what they're doing. But we're once again implicating a hoodie person in a crime.
And then you go and put a name on that green hoodie person that you can't make out anything about. So you're risking that person.
Right.
Because let's face it, there's a lot of crazies on here in some of those chats of theirs, and they will try to tear that person's life apart. It has nothing to do with it.
Well, they're already doing that because they're saying that this is Mrs. Bowersox. And Mrs. Bowersox already showed that when they first said that she was sitting at the most popular little gas station, little store in town, she showed, no, here's our vehicles in our parking lot, like in our driveway. We were not there. And yet people still
camera
swear.
footage.
Right. Yeah, people still swear that they were there that morning. It's so stupid. It's so aggravating because, again, all of this is a look over there technique. Now, everybody's looking over here. Everybody's blaming the Bowersox. They're blaming the Proudfoots. And at the same time, now you're saying Sebastian's alive? It's aggravating.
You're right, Cheesy. You wear a hoodie, you're going to get blamed.
Yeah, hoodie person always gets blamed.
Mm-hmm. And when does it stop, though? When is it enough? When do you just say, hey, this isn't working, let's stop?
Well, here's my biggest thing. You don't think if that was Mrs. Bowersox that the police already identified that she was at the Texas Roadhouse that night? You don't think that the police have the capabilities to look at that same footage and say, wow, here's Kathy Bowersox. She was there that night. This is red flag number 1. Like, really? You don't think that they would have done that? So stupid.
Yeah. Seeing as how they have had the footage from the start. Yeah. That's just little facts that, at night media doesn't let you know. That, hey, this stuff has been out. Law enforcement has had it from the get-go. The father has already viewed said videos with law enforcement.
Well, of course they don't. First off, to be quite honest, they shouldn't have to do that. But when you're talking about these type of idiots, yeah, I think it's important that you let them know things like that. Like, hey, well, police have had this footage from the very get-go. If this was, Bowersox, they would know that. Yeah. It's just as great. And then, like I said, these are people that changed the reward fund to give out somebody's address. Like, what do you think they're doing? They are pushing a hate narrative because their audience fed it. Think about this logically, not emotionally. They have gotten everybody emotionally riled up, saying that the Bowersox are paying off everybody, that the Proudfoots are corrupt, and they have all this money and all these resources, and they're capable of doing all these things. And they created the perfect storm of feeding off this frenzy, which is why they waited until every idiot creator you all listened to told you that it looks like Mrs. Bowersox to come out and even say that it's female. They knew they know what they're doing. It is intentionally set up.
Yeah, Nick can play the media game with the bullshit, in my opinion, post very well.
Yeah, like these people really think, seriously, is Sebastian, let's do it the way they do it. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, is he nothing but riddles now? A abbreviation, a hashtag?
Yeah.
Because that's what they've created of him.
Yeah.
Green IPI, where was Robin when Seth was homeless, and where is she now? In my opinion, they aren't close. She left Sebastian out to dry with the info she had. Shameful. if she had it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, to stir stuff up again. Right. Somebody who admittedly didn't see Katie since she was a little girl. And if Yaya was so close and knows so much about Katie, where was Yaya when Katie was a victim of abuse through her mother? Where were you at, Yaya? You great
Yeah.
person. Where were you?
I'd like to know how you know so much about somebody that you had no contact with.
Or are you just another person that turns a blind eye when a child's being abused, Yaya?
Mm-hmm.
That would be my first question to you. If you're so close and you're, a relative and all these things, where were you at? Well,
Yep.
I guess, what would Katie's mother be, her sister? Or when your relative was being a predator towards kids, where were you at, Yaya? Right.
I never thought that I'd see a case worse than Summer Wells. But
Oh
they've
yeah.
done that. They've topped that 100 times over.
Honestly, every case everybody thinks is worse than the next one. They're all equally as bad. This is all horrible.
Mm.
It's so ridiculous. Every last bit of it is so ridiculous.
I wish they would just take 1 minute and, like you said, put the emotions aside, because that's what they, like you said, that's their specialty. They get them emotions flowing, because then people don't think. They just run with how they're feeling. Take a second and see what you would feel if you could put yourself in those shoes, if it was you and your child.
They don't care. They don't care. They get upset if you even commentate on what they allow you to hear here. But they have no problem digging in people's lives and hosting so-called relatives or friends or neighbors and putting out any speculation they can and they want. And all of it's just so ridiculous. Proud can absolutely be guilty, but what does making them guilty via public perception do? What does that do for you? How does that bring you any closer? If this case
And
goes
trying to
unfortunately cold, it would be because of the antics online.
thinking that you're putting pressure on law enforcement to step up and do something, you're sadly mistaken.
Please, you have him over there saying that he's been censored again. And then all of a sudden he's tagging all the FBI agencies and all the police and acting like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they're Sebastian Straw. Like, it's the weirdest. It's fucking manic, is what it is. You're witnessing a manic display. It makes no sense.
Not
Right,
at
they
all.
do it organized, should be ashamed. First thing they do is they dox out the addresses. Then this private intelligence agency makes the reward fund somebody's address. They're giving you subliminal messages to believe what they want you to believe. Then we find out they absolutely are, without a doubt, emailing creators and telling them what to go live about, which is why you have a handful of morons who all go live the same day, pushing the same narrative. So as the audience, you believe it. That's why commercials repeatedly state what their product is. It is a way to brainwash people. That is exactly what they are doing. They are brainwashing the masses, and you people act like you're so smart by figuring this shit out. Why don't you ask your favorite creator, hey, wait a minute, I thought you were doing the detective work on this, but here you're getting emails telling you what to say? Why don't you question that to begin with?
And if Smiley got one, they've all been getting one. Well, even Betty would say that she would, before, at the beginning, when she was interviewing Seth and Tony, she admitted that everything was pre-set on what was going to be talked about, questions that were going to be asked. They had been emailing back and forth, telling her what she was allowed to say.
Yeah.
But why would you? Why would you let someone control your channel like that? Control your content?
So they can feel part of. So they can
Mm-hmm.
feel like they're part of this team. I mean, you hear them say, we're on the right side of history. Like, this is going to go down in a history book. We're talking about a child who disappeared. It is ego driven. They're not even thinking logically at this point. They're ignoring all the red flags that came out of Seth Rogers, from the fact that he said, you're not asking the right questions with a smiling face, right down to, I know where he is, but I don't have the resources. What does that mean? They won't question that, though, because then they have to question being on the quote-unquote right side of things instead of what's better for Sebastian and what can help bring him home. So it really is just it's infuriating. It is ego-driven. They want money from it. There's no logic behind it. I mean, you have one person that can't even go live with the correct agenda because they're fucking falling asleep. And if they're lying to you about what you're witnessing, what else are they lying about? I heard a particular person turn around and state that, Jay zoomed in on her child. There was no footage.
No, she did not.
You fucking liar.
Yeah, that's a bold-faced lie.
Absolutely, it's a bold-faced lie. There was no footage with it. It was audio. But they
Mm-hmm.
got to keep that hate going, and they are using people's love and genuine concern for children to feed it. Under the guise for the lawsuit, I do think they are spending that money for other things. I did money under the guise for a lawsuit. I don't know. Also, Seth says Sebastian's probably somewhere playing video games without internet access. Yep. In the same video that he said, I know where he is. I just don't have the resources.
And no one's ever asked him what he meant by that.
Nobody's ever given him hardball questions, ever.
Mm-mm.
But the Proudfoots, who they claim, won't answer anything, they went on channels of people that don't even like them to answer questions. You think Steph would ever do that?
No, I don't really think he would.
Nope.
They script everything when he does go up to what he wants to talk about.
I don't know where she did that because I don't see it.
Where can we find exposed or? Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Donna, thank you. I've gone through so many interviews, and then, in my opinion, I found the answer in one of Jay's lives. I've emailed TBI. Well, that's interesting. I'm glad you went to TBI with it. Yeah, and then guess what? He hid them all, though, Butter. Why did he hide all those videos? Put them back up so we can see all of Seth's interviews. Tattoos with the 25 months. Hey, girlfriend. I understand Sebastian went missing on Katie's watch. I get that. But do you understand that it was also supposed to be a different person's weekend? I mean, we're talking about a 15-year-old Midnight Angel. We're not talking about a 5-year-old, not a 3-year-old. We're talking about a 15-year-old kid.
That's why they keep comparing us, and you can't compare them. You can't compare a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old going missing to a 15-year-old who ran away.
Right. And they keep showing us younger photos of them. They're not being very honest about any of it. I don't think Katie knows something because Katie passed lie detector tests, but I wouldn't doubt somebody close to Katie knows something.
Could be. All I know is people need to realize that there is a whole family that loves and misses that boy and wants him home.
We heard you the first time, Andrea. You don't have to repeat it again. That's the other thing that's annoying about you people is you just repeat because you're listening to people that repeat. And now we know they're given information to repeat. Get down, Nelly.
Granny, off subject real quick. I know you're a cat lover like me. What do you use for your cat's ears to keep ear mites away?
I don't use anything.
You've never had? This is the first time I ever had I've had cats all my life. This is a first for me. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I've never experienced it. They sell like cat wipes. But yeah.
I got the stuff that you squirt in the arm. I'm gonna try that, but this cat's so sensitive.
I tried to give Nelly medicine once, and that was nearly impossible. So I have no clue.
Oh, I can get his medicine in him. I just have to break it in half and put it in little soft chunks of meat. My cat's almost 35 pounds. He's bigger than most people's dogs.
Oh, that's a big cat.
Yeah, he's big.
Right, FSU. Michael Vaughn walked out the front door in daylight, has not been seen since. We were talking about a 15-year-old. He was 15 years old when it happened. Hey, Rebecca. Oh, I'll tell you. Don't listen, Nellie.
It's just, honestly, what are they going to come up with next? It's like people are sitting by waiting for the next distraction they're going to put out.
Yeah.
Did you understand all the outrage over why Tony had to come out and do that interview immediately after Clue had talked about those emails? I get why people were upset the emails were even talked about, but in my opinion, they didn't put anybody in a bad light. It made it look like parents that were working together to try to find solutions. Help for their child.
In a bad light.
Yeah. They will not even acknowledge the fact that there had been issues going on for a long time. Because it doesn't fit their narrative. Sad. I just hope this kid has not seen all this stuff. Like I said, I'm curious to see what their next move is going to be.
Sorry, I'm reading this. I can't get past the date. Katie wouldn't really remember when she filed. She'd remember maybe when it was finalized. Seth, however, has shown a Vivitrol for her and his thing for dates. I seen Andrea up here asked, did they ever get Katie's phone? Of course. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they took all their electronics, everybody's.
Right. They searched KP's house 10 times, checked devices. She passed a poly. I mean, they did all of that. They checked Seth's place. They went through all his electronics. They took Sebastian's electronics. They done all of it. I mean, people say things like they need to get Katie alone and interrogate her. They did. They did all of this. I don't know why. Why in every case that comes about, people think the police are incompetent.
Yeah.
It's aggravating. In every single case, especially any case that Betty ever touched, the police are incompetent, they're corrupt, they're not doing their job, all of the bullshit. And then when it comes out, no, they were doing their job, just not publicly because that's how police operate. Then none of them ever go back and apologize. None of them ever turn around and say, you know what, I was wrong. They still haven't learned yet that police do operations quietly. They're not going to come out here and give you everything they have. So stupid.
And if it was me, if it was my kid, I wouldn't want law enforcement to be releasing anything that could jeopardize finding my son and bringing him home. I would want them to keep shut up and keep,
getting justice.
Yeah. But stop acting like law enforcement hasn't done anything. They have pulled out all the stops and then some in this case.
Yeah.
Would it be nice to know what law enforcement knows? Yeah, of course. But is it my right to know? Do I have a right to demand that they tell us? Absolutely not. And it's, having your team members make parody videos that aren't even funny is disgusting and gross. Why are you even supporting something like that? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I have a feeling, just by the way they've been acting, something's coming up. They're going to want to make a big distraction for the holiday if you go by previous behaviors. So, Granny, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Everything
Sorry, I had to walk away for a minute.
No, I was just asking how you're doing. You doing okay? You holding up okay?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Good to hear.
What happened to critical thinking? They
Yeah.
really drove everybody. They knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They knew exactly what they were doing. It's easy to get everybody emotionally riled up and do what they did. It's also dangerous. This is why, actual professionals don't operate this way. They don't do that. You heard what Craddock said. They don't come out and tell you things that can, set public perception into a certain way, because it can jeopardize results. And people are saying, oh, that's their way of stating they do have stuff on the Proudfoots. No, that's not at all what
No.
they said.
Yeah. Actually, if you think about it for a second, and he said that it could, mean you to make you biased. Everybody's been attacking the Proudfoots, saying they're responsible. They've done this, them and the Bower Sox, and now Katie's biological family. That would switch it the other way. You would think that whatever they have was towards the other side. With the DA meeting so frequently, could they be building a case against someone? That's possible. But with open cases like this, it's not uncommon to have a weekly or every other week, updates. I'm sure most of it's probably either over the phone, by email, or something. But yeah, that's a possibility, though.
But I mean, I do think they're building a case. I do think they know a lot more. I do think arrests are coming. I just don't think the public hate is going to make that happen quicker or solve anything. Like I said, professionals don't come out doing that type of things with purpose. I do believe that certain people were told to knock it off. I do believe that's why they're saying they were muzzled again. I do believe it's dangerous. I think all of this is dangerous. And I think that Seth absolutely knows what he's saying and doing is wrong. I think he knows more than he's telling people, because he knows if the truth came out, he looks just as bad.
Yeah. And they make sure that they keep spinning that narrative that he's the best in the world and they're the worst in the world.
Well, the narrative doesn't even work, because the fact of the matter is, Seth himself said he was supposed to take Sebastian a year ago, and he said, I'll give him another year to get his shit together. Well, if you're claiming that Sebastian was so highly abused, and you're meaning to tell me you never saw any signs of this? You never saw anything that gave you red flag, that you're such a on point father, that you're telling us that your son was so grossly neglected and you didn't see any signs of it? And all the people out there that are saying, oh, Sebastian was malnourished and he was this and he was that, then why are you asking his father why he didn't intercept? Why are you asking Daddy of the Year why he didn't do anything to protect that child? If he's the one out here claiming all these horrible things were taking place, where were you? And how close was your relationship to him if he wouldn't tell you? Or could it be that you all abused him?
Yeah. I think he was let down, period. Of
course he won't, because then he has to admit his failures as a father.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you disagree?
Why did you have to wait a year?
Angel? You disagree? If you people are claiming that Sebastian was so malnourished and he was abused and he was so neglected, you mean to tell me that his father, who spoke to him all the time and saw him every other weekend, didn't see any signs of it? He never came to him. He's so close to his son. His son never came to him and said, hey, Dad, this is what's going on. But according to Taco, he did. Right? Mm-hmm. According to Taco, he did. Right before Sebastian disappeared. I mean, everybody's saying, oh, Chris and Katie had reason to get rid of him. Maybe Seth had reason to go hide him too. I mean, you just don't know. It can go any which way. You have no idea. But to set out rumors that Chris has a 34-year-old son? You know how stupid you
Oh
sound?
my.
It's the
That would
dumbest
make
thing.
Chris like what, 12? Would he have,
A 7.
Oh my.
Rose of Sharon, I'm really sorry to hear that. My 33-year-old son has been missing since July 22nd. I cannot imagine all the bullshit happening to me. My heart breaks for Katie.
Oh wow, sorry to hear that, Rose.
He wasn't malnourished. These people
No, he
say the
was not.
dumbest thing.
He's a tall, lanky 15-year-old going through puberty and stuff. That boy was not malnourished.
Oh, hold on one second.
But one of my questions for Seth is, the behavior issues apparently were bad. It was at home and in school. Why would you tell your son, and this is his own words, I'm going to give you a year? The behavior issues were so bad that you needed to give him a year to get it together, but it wasn't too bad to leave him with Katie by her feet to handle it all. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If anything, you'd want to, I don't know. Let me not say what I want to say. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But it just, I don't know. The whole thing with him saying, I'm going to give you a year, it's like, okay, so you want him to come to you with no issues and dump it all on just one of the parents and have her deal with it and have Chris deal with it, but then you're dragging him through the mud because you're the one that left him there to deal with it. That's my take on it. Let me look at chat. I can't comment back for some reason, but I can read chat. When my son was 15, 16, he was tall and lanky, he was skinny, and that boy ate constantly. Yeah, I hear you. This is insane. Chris is 41, and the man that Smiley said his son is 34. That's impossible. Look, I know Smiley isn't always, the brightest bulb in the bunch, but come on, Smiley. Are you for real?
Well, she'll say anything to get views. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's why I don't even bring these people any attention because of that. Because the minute anybody even brings their name up, their views go higher every single time. It doesn't. We're not combating a problem by repeating the problem. I just think it's fruitless. It gives them more views. Hey, half pint.
Yeah. Then they play victim and woe is me and cry and
right. That's the whole point, Mimi. All three were looking for a home to put them in. Why? What are they not telling anybody? That's what people need to think of.
The behavior issues were major. They were not just happening at home. They were happening at school. They had to have been major for them to reach out and try to find resources to help. So, I mean, come on. His own dad said, no, you got to, I'm not taking you now because you got behavior issues. You stay there with Chris and Katie, let them deal with it. When they get it all together, then I'll take you. That's what it sounds like to me, but that's just my opinion. And then you're going to sit here and trash him. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. All three of them were working together. All three of them were aware that something was happening. Sebastian was recently diagnosed with autism before he disappeared. There were plenty of alleged CPS reports. Nobody knows what they contain because, they're pertaining to a child. So, of course, he can come out and set whatever narrative he wants. Nobody's going to question it. But the fact of the matter is there were personal issues going on that each of them have acknowledged. They were all looking into a home to send them into. Why?
Yep.
I wouldn't trust any. Well, Sean didn't get it together because he didn't want to be full-time dad. I don't know about that. I just believe, like I said, if he knew that's, I just think he's not being very honest about the situation, because then he has to acknowledge that he has fault as well.
Yeah. And for them emails, to me, it didn't paint any of them in a bad light. To me, it showed three parents really just trying to find resources to help with their child. Why they had to come out and spin that the way they did, I have no idea, because it just made them look even more ridiculous. But Seth knows and is choosing, in my opinion, to not be honest. Because for some reason, it's so important for him to look like the best dad in the world. And little does he know, there's no such thing as a perfect parent.
I don't think Sebastian was having trouble learning at school. We know that he was highly intelligent. He was very functioning.
Oh,
and
yeah.
had issues with displaying certain things, as on Pascal's show, coming from Seth, he calls it normal. Right. You can't 100% again. My kids are excellent kids and straight A students, etc. And I even struggle. No kids at this age are behavior issue free kids. No, but comparing that to every child as a teenager is ridiculous, because how many parents are looking to send their kids to behavioral schools? Like, let's not normalize what we heard. It's not normal.
No, the issues had to have been, to even go down that avenue, they had to have been, you know, let's be honest, they had to have been severe.
He said he gave Sebastian a year to get right. The truth is, he had a year to get right and didn't. What else is one to think? What happens if he didn't? We know if he didn't clean his room, he got his ass beat. What happened if he didn't get his act right at school? What does that even mean? It's insane.
And does it mean at the end of the year that if it wasn't to your, if you didn't see the changes you thought should be made, does that mean you weren't going to take them ever? I mean, what does it mean? So while you throw that all on Chris and Katie, take care and deal with everything, you go on about your merry way with your life. Okay, got it.
Exactly, Janine. They all failed Sebastian.
Yeah. That I do agree with 100%.
Oh, I know. Handmade by love, with love. I couldn't agree more. All the people that sat there and overanalyzed that footage and tore it apart, and this is what they would do, this is how their kids would act. They're so full of shit. They're so full of shit. You hear each of them as they're live pretending they're, and then you look into their skeletons and it's like, dude, if this ever happened to you, do you know how much people would go with? Do you know how much you would be? Any of us could be spun into looking like a horrible parent. It's unbelievable. And the people that judge the hardest, they don't even have the right to. They don't even have clean hands to judge that much.
No. I have parented over 20-something kids. Some for a couple weeks, some for years. No two are alike. Behavioral issues happen, and it's a lot to deal with. The older, the harder.
It wasn't even a full 4 minutes. They repeated a lot of the footage that they did share. It was repeated. So they slowed it down. They showed it, then they slowed it down. They manipulated it. Why don't they release all of it? If they're that confident in what they have, why don't they release all of it?
And stop messing with it. Release it the way you received it, without any editing or anything.
Right. And then even Pascal, he went down there for that ride, met them, and never really talked about it again. He distanced himself completely. What do you think he heard while he was there that would make him say, you know what? I'm just going to walk away from this one? Because believe me, there's a big thing here missing that. No, I'm sure some people know, because unfortunately I know. So I guarantee there's others that know. But, you just got to wait. Just got to wait for it to all come out. It's fucking aggravating.
Yeah, he did just immediately stop all the coverage. And it wasn't because, oh, well, there's no updates. Nope. No. I'm not buying that.
Yeah, I don't.
There was
It had
something
nothing to do with that.
he found out or was a witness to down there when he was there.
I just don't think. I don't know how people can stay. I mean, you see these photos of Sebastian. I mean, hell, even that photo of Katie and Sebastian that was put up on Sebastian's birthday, they ripped that apart. They tore it apart. And in that photo, you see a happy, well-kept, loved child. You see it. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't negate it. It's there. And they tore it apart. They said it was photoshopped. They said this was actually Seth, and they photoshopped Katie there, and they overanalyzed it, and they went in, and they, oh my God, there's a person in his glasses, and da. These fucking idiots. And what I see here is a boy who has his hair done. His hair is cut and brushed and kempt. He looks clean. He has clean clothing on. He seems well kempt, happy, smiling, loved on. That's what I see. But these people so badly want to see Sebastian as neglected. They want this boy to be abused. And I don't understand that. Why do you so badly want this child to have suffered? So you can have your moment of, I had told you so? It's despicable. It's absolutely despicable. This boy is loved.
Instead of cherishing the last photos and that last video that is of him and, keeping it in a positive light, which in my opinion it was a mom and son sitting down having a meal together. He was very much a part of the conversation. They were even talking about what she was showing him on the phone. Instead of cherishing that, they have tried to twist and turn it and make it ugly.
Right, and for them to say, oh, they took the background out. Yeah, look how much you guys dug into the backgrounds. You guys are implicating people in fucking crimes that you don't know exist. So yeah, of course they're going to take the background out.
And that's dangerous. That is very dangerous what they're doing.
It's not normal for people to be, it's normal to grieve. And so 16th birthday without your child. It's not normal to come out here on social media and be like, oh, it's my boy's birthday. Send me super chats and stickers and
here's
money.
My cash app.
It's not normal.
No.
I don't know why people are normal. Just because what Seth is doing, you guys have normalized it. It's not normal. Name another missing child's case where the father was this actively involved on social media to the point where he's moderating chats. He has a quote unquote team of creators that are pushing his narrative. And God forbid it comes out that either A, he's guilty, or B, the Proudfoots are innocent. You people are going to have a lot of crow to eat.
And not one of them will.
Part of.
None of them will. Bet on that. Before you pass judgment and convict somebody, you should wait for the evidence.
Well, that is it. A team of creators pushes narrative, right? We heard Tony say it early on. He said, if I can get a handful of creators to go live on behalf of Seth for about 30 minutes a day, he said it.
Yeah.
He said it.
He did.
Thank you, PJ. Yeah. And that's exactly what he found. A handful of idiots to go live, point their filthy fingers at somebody else, and they feel good about themselves doing it. But don't you dare judge them as they're judging parenting and children and digging into people's relatives and backgrounds. Don't you dare even judge the public sounds they allow you to hear. They can never handle what they're doing to somebody else, and it's sick. They get away with it. And they get away with it by saying, well, you know what? They're so mean to Seth. They're so mean to Seth. Where has anybody accused Seth of a crime?
Seth gets, people review what Seth himself says out of his own mouth. His actions.
But to them, that's so horrible. So horrible. Don't acknowledge what he said. That's not the horrible part. Others acknowledging it is so horrible. How could they?
I'm sorry, but putting out information that's not yours to put out, it's not your story to tell, isn't the right thing to do. And instead of correcting that, you've tripled down. Like Granny said, now you have a whole little team of, I'll leave that one go. You have a whole team, a whole little team doing doing your dirty work now, in my opinion.
Brittany's an absolute liar. There was no footage involved with the sounds of her son telling her, Mom, you're snoring. You got to stay awake. There was no footage involved in that. It was a phone held up to the mic. There was no footage involved. She can't even be honest about that.
She was actually crying.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, Lord. I watched that, and I even used Jay's video. There was no zooming in. There was no child visible.
It was audio only. She
Yeah.
can't even be honest about that. So,
And it was her sleeping. It was nobody behind her on a couch, and behind her, away from her. She was on top of that mic. That was her, in my opinion.
she just, like I said, if she's going to gaslight an audience, despite what you heard yourself, why would you take anything else as credible coming from them? I don't understand it.
No.
Don't get it. No, there was no footage. There wasn't. If there was, that still would be her fault, though. Like, this is the thing. This is a public platform. If you don't want things to be heard publicly or seen publicly or spoken on publicly, then get off a public platform. If we
Don't
put it
on
public,
here.
right. I mean, we have a choice to come online and to speak every day publicly. And when you do that, you're on a stage. If you're unhappy with the performance you're doing on the stage, then get off it. But you don't get to judge the critics for being unhappy with it. You're the one offering it up. You're doing it. Nobody else. It's just ridiculous. And the fact that it's like we're gonna sit there and judge the shit out of this photo, out of this mother, out of every move she's made based off what we heard from a jaded ex, okay? Because let's not forget that Seth Rogers is her ex-husband. She ruined his nuclear family. And we're going to take everything at his face value because it offers us value. But we're going to get upset when people do less than that back to us. There was no reason to tear this photo apart. Why on God's green earth would this have been Seth? And then if you're so close to Seth, why not ask him? Hey, Seth, was that actually a photo you took with Sebastian? No, we're going to spend 30 over drawn out minutes analyzing this photo and say, do we have any photographers in the audience that can tell us? Why would they take out the background? Why? A lot of places do that. You never seen photos that have a white background, a black background, a blue background?
And for him to sit there and co-sign and go along with this is just next level. I mean,
it's just horrible.
That's a very sweet picture. It really is.
I see a happy, loved child. I don't know why people want to see differently. It breaks my heart.
I mean, look at their faces. You can see it. You can see the love and happiness with them,
Well, when you already dehumanize somebody, everything about them you see in a negative light. And that they've done it. They've done well at doing that.
Yeah.
And the fact that we now have, green hoodie woman, and look how horrible green hoodie woman comes out from the shrubs. She's spying. But yet clearly shows their face, walking to and from. But this is in the middle of kidnapping a kid. They're not hiding their identity. They're right here on cameras. There's no hiding going on.
Exactly.
And people are still going to go live that this was a kidnap. How many of you are going to go kidnap or commit a crime without hiding your identity? So stupid. Right.
You're going to make sure you're all over that camera footage.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of, again, this person came out, right, from behind these bushes, right? So if Katie was doing something with them and she was trying to do a pass off or, they were setting up a kidnap, why wouldn't Katie have parked on the other side of the shrubs too? Where there is
Why did she park right there by the entrance? It was so lit up.
With all these people nearby, right next to the takeout window.
Uh-huh.
And now
that's the last place you're going to park.
Now you have this person's face being put on a missing child's poster. Okay, just think of the severity of this. This is your aunt. This is your uncle. This is your friend. This is your neighbor. And they simply went into a restaurant one night to use a restroom. And now they were on a flyer with a $250,000 reward attached to the name of a missing child.
Yeah.
You guys would be okay with that?
No. You know, let's just hope that nothing bad happens because of this.
I hope this person sues the fucking pants off of these people.
They should. They sure could.
Thank you, Holly, for becoming a member. Have you seen me? $250,000 reward? And then to put in their stupid little email that people at the restaurant don't recall ever seeing this person before. I mean, there's a reason why these people are on social media in different states doing this shit. They're not together working in an office. They don't have this big intelligence company sitting inside an office with all these screens going and access to all these things. No, they're operating, walking around a fucking park, holding a cell phone in one hand and a Red Bull in another. And you people are taking what they are publishing, and you are endangering real people by doing so. And then you have the nerve to cry that people on the internet are endangering you by playing your background noise? Seriously?
Yeah, the only endangering going on is what they're doing. And calling out the BS.
Somebody.
Yeah. And calling out their BS is putting them in danger. I feel bad for them then. But
right.
Yeah.
Calling out their own behaviors endangers them, but it's okay. Just implicate this random patron to a crime. No big deal. No. And then what happens when this person comes in? They're like, oh, well, Green Hoodie just comes forward. So what? So you can all dox out their names and not believe what they say anyway because you already decided that they're part of a crime? It wouldn't matter what that person came out and said tomorrow. They're not going to retract anything they said. They're going to come up with reasons why this person's guilty.
Yeah, they could really this could really mess up someone's life, and I'm not. They don't want that on their hands.
Right, chaps.
But I'm gonna jump down, Granny.
Thank you, Kathy.
Got
for
it.
coming up.
No problem. I gotta bath my cat.
Oh boy, have fun with that.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. I'll be listening.
You. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi, Holly. Thank you. Hey, Woodstock. Stop in and say, I'm listening, can't chat. Guys are here to deliver my new refrigerator. Watch out. Make sure they're not kidnappers disguised as refrigerators. I mean, I don't understand why people don't understand the severity of what has happened in here. Well, what if this was your loved one? We're just okay with this? With some busybodies on the internet using clicks and views to gain traction? We're just okay with them implicating people in crimes? If these people just now commit crimes right in front of cameras, I don't get it. The BJ put KP's mom's pic on her stream last night. I heard them speak about it, but I may be confusing a pic of CP's mom instead. Why are we putting pictures of anybody's mom? Would you be okay with it being a picture of your mom? Why are we doing this? All of this is just horrible. FedEx trucks and hoodies. You got them now stating that the Proudfoots moved for the summer. They rented their house out. They weren't even living there. They rented their house out. Well, that's weird because your own tip line told me that you all were stalking that little girl throughout the summer. So who's coming out with this new information that they weren't even living there? And why does it matter? On one hand, you're saying they're not stalked. Has anybody looked into where Seth's been living? Who's been going in and out of his place? Who's his neighbors? Where's his family? What's his mother look like? Matter of fact, let me remind you what his mother looks like. Wow, she has short hair too, just like that green hoodie person. There you go. Look at that. Look at that hair. Short, blondish hair. But we're going to ignore that, right? We're going to ignore that. We just want to implicate people in crimes. I mean, there's Mrs. Rogers. Okay. Here's green hoodie. Short blonde hair. Let's not forget what Mrs. Rogers here said. That as a nurse, she knew. My grandson asked me not to. I was the only person that Sebastian felt like he could say anything to. If I had broke his confidence, he would never have been able to speak to me again about everything and anything. He was protecting his dad. He did not want his dad to do anything that would harm himself or his career. So you mean to tell me that this 15-year-old child had the common sense, okay, to worry about how a person would react? Remember, this is the child that they are trying to degrade and act like he's incapable. Yep, but since they are sassy, it's all fair and game, right? Katie's mother never went on the news. Katie's mother is a predator that harmed her own child. So Sebastian had the whereabouts to watch out for somebody else's job, right? Tells his grandmother, that's a nurse, that he's supposedly being abused, and she keeps it to herself because Sebastian would never trust her again. Okay. But down here, when people start digging into her, she says they have both. They have both been polyed and passed. Yes, Katie took more than one poly and passed. When people started speculating into her and her family, she no longer wanted people to speculate. Me too, cheesy. FBI thought ties to Clarksville was relevant enough to add to their flyer, but they ignore that. Right. So I ask you all, who would have motive? The woman that is openly telling you she knew about abuse, but didn't want to tell her son because she didn't want to jeopardize his job? Really? Is context context matters, right? Context matters. I don't think Katie was asked about that boy. Listen, I don't know if the Proudfoots did anything to harm Sebastian. I don't know if Seth did anything to harm Sebastian. This entire time throughout us discussing this case, I've never once implicated any of them in Sebastian's disappearance because we simply don't know. What I do know is there's been one large push from one quote-unquote side to blame another. And that's concerning. Why? Why are they so hell-bent on that? Why does the public perception matter this much? No, we have no proof. Well, we have proof that he was, CPS reports were made. Maybe I should play this again since people want to revisit this. Nobody wants to use common sense because we're not allowed to. Because using common sense is harmful.
Seems to be doing some shady things online. From what looked like he exposed himself on TikTok to hijacking the Caleb Harris TikTok account. I see many are really upset about him doing that, as that account was started to raise awareness for missing 21-year-old Caleb Harris. It seems that Tony wanted that 10,000 followers, and has now deleted all the Caleb Harris content, and posted his own rants, some about Jonathan Lee Riches. Anyway, it seems Tony's behavior is getting worse. The way in which he spoke to missing person and victim social media advocate Trevor Lee left me speechless. I stand with Trevor Lee, as he does great work in these cases. Trevor shared the text that Tony sent to him a few nights ago, and it's just appalling. Trevor texted Tony. The text reads, Tony Mattis, I write this to you in your official capacity as Seth Rogers spokesperson. Let this please serve as my written notice that my efforts to find Sebastian will not cease. Many have said that you guys plan to serve me with a cease and desist and possibly a suit to follow. I will not be scared into being silent, nor will I be silenced by a clear abuse of the civil system. So again, let this serve as official notice that I will continue my efforts towards the safe return and recovery of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. You will not believe Tony Mattis' response. So unprofessional and downright rude. He says, I'm not under contract. Send your bullshit to him and quit being a trouble-causing whiny little bitch. Here's another text from Tony Mattis to Trevor Lee that says,
I want you all to look at that statement there. You continue to be scared to take your drama to him. You are pathetic. Do you think it's pathetic to not take quote-unquote drama to the father of a missing child? I find it respectful. I find it a lot more pathetic to wrap a father of a missing child up in drama. Let's not forget that Seth himself said as soon as he starts to fall asleep, he would get woken up by Tony Mattis with a message telling him that people are saying bad things about him on the internet. Your job was to do opposite. Your job was to protect him and keep him on track, with the focus being his son, not drama. But you getting more attention via the internet, how'd it work out for you, by the way, was more important than that man's well-being. And now look at him.
Little bitch. Here's another text from Tony Mattis to Trevor Lee that says, you're a very disgruntled little crybaby. Boo-hoo, I didn't have enough value to keep from getting fired by a grieving father. You see,
a grieving father. I didn't have enough value to keep from getting fired by a grieving father. You're such a piece of shit.
You, unlike me, and thought you brought no value. You proved his point by stirring up high school girl drama on social media after you were booted. You are a child yourself, trying to use another child for platform gain. Sad little guy you are.
Does that tell you a lot? You are a child yourself trying to use another child for platform gain. How many of you knew of Trevor Lee prior to Sebastian Rogers? Put a 1 in the chat. How many of you knew of Tony Mattis prior to Sebastian Rogers? I bet the answer is 0.
Guys, this is absolutely disgusting. Trevor Lee was not disrespectful at all, but look at the replies he got from the spokesperson of Seth Rogers.
Yep. Look at all the ones flying in. All the ones. Nobody knew you beforehand, Tony Mattis. That's the type of shit they're out here doing. Anybody want to revisit Pascal's, where Seth Rogers tells you more of what was going on? Oh no, fear of being canceled. We can't acknowledge the obvious. It hurts people's feelings. So we'll just play the stupidity game and act like we don't know what the fuck was going on. Tired of these people and the games that are being played at a missing child's expense. I haven't seen a grieving father. I see duper's delight and flattering because of his money and newfound fame from incompetent folks lying for him. I don't see why people don't see the red flags that are going on. Truth does hurt, and true crime's ugly. It's just a fact. Nope. But we saw them all over social media trying to get attention, right? Oh, this is eerily similar to Caleb Harris's case, and I'm the spokesperson for the family. Reach out to me. He was trying to get his claws into any case that he could in hopes to get himself the publicity that he didn't get at his failed attempt of the Idaho 4. And we see the same thing going on with the next group that came in to be the shining heroes. They also involved themselves in every single headline trending case as soon as a reward fund goes out. But y'all act like they're doing the better good here. emailing slime balls like Slimy and telling her what to go live with. Y'all act like they're for the better good. Slimy went from having 20 people in her chat, under 200 views, to doing clickbait titles. And I want to know why the Green team is so confident on when Sebastian will be home. Isn't that a little weird too? I'm coming for you. Like they know where he's at. Do you know more than what we're being told? Let's listen to this really quick.
In this unfiltered episode, originally streamed on YouTube, we delve into Seth's story without any interruptions or edits. Providing a raw and unfiltered perspective, throughout the episode, Seth courageously reveals some deeply troubling and sensitive information, shedding light on the complexities of his situation. Additionally, he delivers a powerful message directed at whoever may have his son. The urgency of Seth's narrative demands attention. Tune in and lend your ears to this crucial discussion. It's a story that needs to be heard. Hey everyone, hope you guys are having a great night tonight. If you're watching this sometime during the day or afternoon past that, hope you're having a good day. Tonight we're going to be interviewing Seth Rogers. Beasley, very respectful in the chat. You know, he's going through a lot.
Get employment because I didn't even have a residence or an address anymore. Dealing with the court issue, finally turned around and her attorney kept pushing and pushing, and the judge at one point in time just turned around and told both me and Katie that we needed to be adults and remember that we're parents for Sebastian, and told us to go in the hallway and do a parenting plan, and dismissed everything. CPS had done their investigation.
CPS had done their investigation into what, Seth?
And they were like, but you have,
Into
I was
what?
like,
Thank you,
you're coming
Julie.
in here. Who are y'all here for? Because I was outside with my son, and you walked up.
Let's hear it.
Full SWAT gear. They showed up with like 20.
All right,
Comes
let's hear
down
the
to
whole story.
Sebastian. All I want is 50-50. He's my son. You're his mom. You know, so. And when that part came up, she went and got an attorney. And the next thing I know, I'm being issued a restraining order for domestic violence and a move out order so that I would no longer have a place to stay as well. I thought initially I thought it was her that I was being accused of being violent against. She told them that I had an arsenal. They showed up with like 20 sheriffs in SWAT gear, armed with assault rifles, fully automatic in California. They walked up. I looked at the lady and I was like, you're coming in here. Who are y'all here for? Because I was outside with my son and he was playing with the neighbor's kid. And we're sitting there, you know, drinking coffee, shooting the shit, watching our kids play when they rolled up. And when they rolled up, he looked at me. He was like, I wonder who they're here for this time.
You hear that? Sebastian looked at him and said, wonder who they're here for this time. You hear that? Okay. Maybe he means the neighbor. I don't know. Somebody looked at him and said, wonder who they're here for this time. So they had a lot of police encounters.
And I was like, you know, one day they're going to be here for me because Katie's going to call them on me.
Oh, why would she do that?
That was the time that they were there for me. They rolled up. The lady that was in charge, she told me that why I was here, why they were there. And
Yep. At one point, he says the neighbor was female, Death Grits. April, Wine, and Julie, thank you for becoming members again. It is so very much appreciated. I can't thank you all enough for being here, being members, hitting the thumbs up, and just supporting the channel. Wait until you hear the rest of this one because it gets interesting.
I was like, okay. I looked at her and I was like, you don't remember me, do you? And the lady looked at me. She was like, no. And I was like,
Look what's going across the bottom. Seth Rogers Cash App. Seth Rogers Cash App. But listen to what Seth says here next and tell me if you find anything wrong with it.
I'm the father of the autistic special needs child.
What?
And I was like, for me, do you? And I was like, okay. I looked at her and I was like, you don't remember me, do you? And the lady looked at me and she was like, no. And I was like, I'm the father of the autistic special needs child. And she was like, oh, I remember you.
Oh, except for Sebastian wasn't diagnosed at that time. So it was a little odd that when he was back in California, right, impossible. Sweet faces, thank you for being number 709. I appreciate you very much. Let's get the thumbs up a little bit higher. It is a free way to support a channel. So he would have been diagnosed at that point. Right. Okay. So we got that.
And turned around and told all the deputies there that they needed to stand down. I'd comply with whatever was asked. And
so he tells everybody there to stand down.
They were like, they stood down. There was no need for it, all that. You know, that time I was before she did this, I was an armed security officer, worked in military housing.
Who was your boss there? Anybody want to guess who Steph's boss was when he worked armed security at military housing?
And they were like, we hear you have firearms inside. I was like, yeah, I have my pistol that I use when I'm at work. And then I have the other pistol that is used for work.
Oh.
Work issues your own pistol. And
isn't it interesting, too, that he claims he worked for a security system company? People are talking about, oh, well, they could have messed with the Wi-Fi because Katie worked for a security system company. Well, so did Seth. So why couldn't Seth have done something with the Wi-Fi that night? See, there's a lot of red flags with all of them, which is why I wouldn't be shocked if we found out at the end that they all worked together to do something.
Then I had my own, and they're like, where are they? And I told them they were on my desk. And they were like, but you have a child. Why do you have them on your desk? I was like, they're on my desk. You can go get them.
So this guy's playing games now with the police. He's playing semantics, right? They're on my desk. You can go get them. Huh.
30 minutes later, they asked me to come and point out where they were on my desk. And I walked in and I showed them.
Another guy, another person, right? Didn't he say he let the one cop try for 4 hours to get into the laptop? This time he lets the police search for 30 minutes. 30 minutes they search his desk.
Come and point out where they will get them. And they were like, but you have a child. Why do you have them on your desk? I was like, they're on my desk. You can go get them. 30 minutes later, they asked me to come and point out where they were on my desk. And I walked in and I showed them the secret little pop so that they would drop down so you could actually get them. And they took those, and I still never got my firearms back. That's California. But
isn't that interesting? They always have to do this thing, like I don't know, like obsessional defiance disorder, right? Like I let them look for 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
That was it. So I was hit with this. I turned around. I was living in my car, trying to make ends meet, trying to make sure I had money to feed myself, which was, yeah, it was kind of hard to actually get employment because I didn't even have a residence or an address anymore.
Oh, I thought you already had employment, though. I thought you were working at the security company.
Dealing with the court issue. Finally turned around and her attorney kept pushing and pushing, and the judge at one point.
Where was Mama Robin? Why couldn't he go live with Mama Robin?
And time just turned around and told both me and Katie that we needed to be adults and remember that we're parents for Sebastian, and told us to go in the hallway and do a parenting plan, and dismissed everything. CPS had done their investigation.
CPS investigation.
Finally, CPS never contacted me. One day I went by there just out of the whim. It was the last day. They were closing the case. And they informed me they've been trying to get a hold of me for the whole time. And I was like, well, my number has.
Well, there you go. CPS didn't acknowledge him then either, right? They didn't even tell him what was going on then.
Hasn't changed in years, like 12. And they were like, well, nobody had your information. And I
Oh,
was like, well,
nobody had
his
his
mother
information.
did. And she didn't even bother to give him that. They turned around and
Look, he blames Katie. He blames Katie for CPS not having his information. They open a case on you, supposedly don't contact you the whole time. You finally stop by on the last day of it. And they're like, oh, well, we tried reaching out to you. Well, I didn't change my phone number. Well, nobody had your information. Well, Katie didn't give that to you. Even Katie was to blame for this. You can't make it up.
they were like, well, we can't find any evidence of any abuse. And so they submitted that to the court. And the court dismissed everything.
How could they not find any evidence if they didn't even do an investigation? You just told us yourself that they failed at an investigation. It was kind of weird, though, because this was the first mention of CPS. The next one is a whole different story.
So one thing, hold on, let me try to get this
One thing, your whole story
better
made no
so
sense.
we're even size. There we go. One thing that I want to say to the people with this is, oftentimes you want to make sure that you believe victims 98% of the time when they accuse somebody of something, but there are situations where you can tell that things aren't truthful. I will
Look at Justin doing cleanup for Seth here. Like, we want to believe that the child was a victim. We got the man's Cash App going across the screen.
Couple reasons why that he is out there literally every single day. The other thing that I want to share with you guys from just a real quick.
No, he's not out there every single day. Stop that.
Guys can be. There are some questions that have come in. I want to ask you real quick for the people who are wanting me to share a couple things with you before we kind of go on. So the first one is.
That's interesting. If he never domesticated the custody papers in Tennessee from CA, California, then CPS wouldn't have notified him of a report either. It wouldn't have been on their radar to contact him in Tennessee recently. Oh, interesting.
Is one wants to know how is he with strangers? Do you think that he would just leave with one if one approached him?
Just no. I don't think he would leave with one.
Oh, don't forget to go buy your T-shirt where the money made goes to Seth Rogers as well.
Because he's apprehensive. I mean, taught him to be aware of your surroundings is what I was teaching him. But I've also taught him that not everybody is your friend.
Mm.
And I had to do that. There was an incident in California before
Shouldn't be saying that, but I'm kind of like, I'm with you at this point, kind of like, fuck it. Because everything that has come out, every word that has come out of his mouth, he double talks. He talks out of both sides of his mouth. He can't keep his story straight in one single interview.
Oh, I think he's talking about Seth, but what do I know? All right, which shoulder? I mean, the whole thing. So hold on, let me get the other part where he talks about another CPS. For all the people saying Chris had all these CPS calls, again, so did Seth. They both did. It's not good, no, but it's an unfortunate fact. I mean, let me even just put this. Let's just listen to this part again. Listen to what he says here. Okay? Listen to how within a second the story changes. Within a second. Listen here.
dismissed everything. CPS had done their investigation. Finally, CPS never contacted me. One day I went everything. Me and Katie that we needed to be adult parenting plan and dismissed everything. CPS had done their investigation. Finally, CPS never contacted me. One day I went by there just out of the whim. It was the last day. They were closing the case.
They done their investigation, yet they never even contacted him. Okay. Let me search down here. So we know of at least 3 CPS reports in California that are mentioned here. This is where he says the 13-year-old, Sebastian was younger. Is it this one? Hold on, that's not it. This right here. All right, right here. This is the part.
Answer it.
I'm just trying to focus so I can answer the questions. That's all.
Get your focus together.
Pain is a overwhelming distraction at times. Sebastian was going to school.
I don't know, because in the court filing they put against me, they said they can't find that in any of his court documents, but yet Seth's the one that said it. Seth says, wasn't it stated Seth was borderline abusive? He claims that they did, but his attorney claims that that's not in any filing.
The whole point of him finishing his first year was he was supposed to come live with me. We were supposed to do a swap where she would have him every other weekend and he would be living with me, going to school. And if she wanted him on his breaks, then she would be able to have him on the breaks. If not, then he would stay with me. I mean, I wanted full custody of my son since the divorce.
So he wanted full custody of his son since the divorce, yet he said that he was offered Sebastian a year prior, but he'd give him a year to get his act together. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that. Yet here he's telling us that he was going to have Sebastian full-time. Katie was going to have every other weekend.
But I don't believe it's my right to take a child's mother away. You know, that's something that the child would debate or would decide at a later point in time.
Like how Sebastian supposedly decided he didn't want to go live with you. And then he turns around and they're all looking into these schools. Do you think he mentioned that in this interview? That they got to a place where they were looking for live-in schools? No, none of them told us that.
Only thing I wanted to do was protect him. And
oh. So his mother was so abusive, but you didn't want to take his mother out of his life. You just wanted to protect him.
Respectfully, not every person who is a mother is a good mother or deserves to be.
Right here, he's setting the tone that Katie was a horrible mother, but yet grand old daddy didn't step in.
Shit.
Makes you feel like shit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You didn't do anything wrong. You're still not doing anything wrong.
But he didn't step in when he knew stuff was happening. How's that not wrong?
Should have done things different.
I'm sure everybody feels that way right now. Should have done things
Wouldn't have
different.
been in that situation.
I know that me saying this isn't going to help you from beating yourself up. You're going to do that.
Why did he stop the whole I was going to have custody comment? Why did that just end? Let's see if he says it again. This is where Seth basically tells us that he that Chris didn't want Sebastian around his daughter, and everybody ran with that. The fact is, they all failed somewhere, some way. No, we all do as parents. There's so many things we can look back at and say we should have done differently. We should have done this. We should have done that. But not one of them had ever came out and admitted that they were having such difficult times that they were looking at behavioral modification schools. Not one of them. They act like everything was rosy, fine. They were just, never told anybody why they were looking at taking Sebastian out of school. Never told anybody what it meant when he said I was giving him a year to get his shit together. Nobody questions anything till they know what happened. That's pretty obvious, right? Nobody should be cleared until they know what happens. You gave out cease and desist to everybody who tried to help, but okay. Anyway, my whole point is everybody's talking about CPS reports. There were plenty. There were way too many for this child who just turned 16. The CPS reports didn't start again until Seth moved to Tennessee. Robin Rogers admits that she knew things were going on, but she didn't intercept or do anything about it because she didn't want her son to lose his job. So we're all just going to, we're going to ignore the abuse we're allegedly being told about because we don't want our grown-ass son to not be able to control his anger, which is a little sus in itself. I mean, come on. We're really going to believe that one? Right. And then yet we're being told that he never knew about CPS reports. I mean, the fact is there were a lot of CPS reports in this child's life on both sides. And that's why I continue to say both sides have failed somewhere along the way. And Seth wonders why law enforcement won't talk to him. It's because they have heard all these interviews and seen the inconsistencies. Perhaps. Who knows, Cricket Day? They're not telling us. The Proudfoots use Cluminati to come out with that information. They don't answer any questions to it, and they just leave the internet up to speculate. Why? Same way Seth has his cronies come out with information that leaves the internet up to speculate, and they don't directly answer anything. I think that's the most aggravating part is people being mouthpieces for these grown adults. If they have something to say, then get on the mic and say it. Stop using other people to speak for you. It's all ridiculous. Well, we know Nina made reports. We know there's reports against Nina too. It seems like none of these people get their shit together enough to parent these children the way they deserve to be. And instead, again, egos were in the way. And we're still watching egos be in the way. It absolutely flabbergasts me. I think it's all despicable. I think if these guys want to have a pissing contest of who was the better parent, then come do it with your own voices. Stop using other people to do it for you. None of this is ever going to lead to the answer of Sebastian. Was it ever stated what state and church group Seth met Katie at when she was 12? No, I don't recall. It's ridiculous that they won't just be straight with everyone. They're all full of shit. I'm over it. Exactly. I mean, look at the mouthpieces. Need we say more on that? They know what they're doing. Hey, Phoenix. Katie Proudfoot has sole custody of Sebastian as a verbal agreement of Seth's times. Games and riddles won't find Sebastian. Nope. Turn him into a cartoon-looking Dr. Seuss case book is not going to help. Nope. Kentucky Queen, we didn't. Snazzy says, it is my speculation that when Seth said he has renewed hope in Ellie, that was Seth's way of gaslighting people into thinking Ellie is looking at Katie. Snazzy Trinkets, to be honest with you, they could be. They could be. I wouldn't be surprised if Ellie was looking at all of them. I think that we have been lied to. I think that nobody is being completely honest. I think that they are telling certain things to certain people with either the hopes of them putting it out on their behalf or they're just not ready to tell the truth to the public. But There's too many games going on here. Not enough answers. Craddock said it himself. Some things they have to keep close to the chest because they don't want to jeopardize the end results. And what we have here is a bunch of non-professionals caring more about clicks, views, and public perception than the actual ending of Sebastian's story. Again, if Green Hoodie is a suspect, well done on making them aware that they are a suspect. If Green Hoodie is innocent, great job on implicating an innocent person in a crime. No matter which way you look at it, it is not professional. It's why the police haven't done it themselves. It baffles me. I thought it was strange they're in the internet as much as they are. Kid's not an avatar. He's a real kid. I agree. Don't you think the time could be better spent out looking for Sebastian Rogers? Not emailing creators with what to go live with, not spending time making up riddles, not having a fucking a missing poster with so much little writing on it. It would take you 3 hours to even read what's written there. That's why missing posters usually just have the photo and the necessary information. Not information that's going to jade your perspective and make you think that somebody who's, possibly innocent is somehow guilty. They don't write bias on missing flyers. It's so far from, it's grossly unprofessional. I just pray nobody gets hurt, including Sebastian. Because again, if Green Hoodie is a suspect, now they know. And that could lead to a rash decision that could ruin any possibility of bringing Sebastian home safely. Law enforcement isn't going to say anything till someone has been arrested or they find Sebastian and brings him home. Yep. As they shouldn't. I think the only thing Ellie told Seth is that we are closer than we are. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they told Seth that he needs to knock it off with his Craigslist hired Timo freaking intelligence group because they're endangering their investigation. I think that's what was told. I think he was told, listen, we are doing our job. We're doing it correctly. We're doing it the way that we have been trained all these years to do it. And it's not the way that your quote unquote team is doing it on social media. So please do us a favor and shut up. That's what I think happened. And I think that's exactly why somebody's reposting a photo of themselves wearing tape. Last time they let everybody believe it was the Proudfoots that muzzled them. They told him to shut up. No, it was his parole officer in Pennsylvania that did. It wasn't the Proudfoots. But that didn't help. That wouldn't look good on him, would it? It wouldn't look good to admit, hey, my parole officer told me I have to stop. So instead, I'm going to lead you all to believe that it was the Proudfoots. So go direct your hate, your misguided anger at them again. As soon as I can, Feisty Nana, I'll do it publicly. It just makes me sad that this is the way Sebastian's case is going. None of us are credentialed. All of us have a mic and internet to go live. And this is the team. He's using it to make himself a martyr. But again, if you go back through all his interviews, you can hear that he also has inconsistencies. Hey, TCA, thank you. And why? Why would there be so many inconsistencies in the truth? The same thing they say about Chris and Katie. You don't need to change the story if the story's the truth, right? How come all three of them are constantly changing stories then? And honestly, I don't see Chris and Katie changing stories, but we'll give them that. If you think they're changing stories, then how come you're not acknowledging that so is Seth Rogers? How to spending hours over analyzing a person in a green hoodie brings Sebastian home. Again, if you believe it's a major piece, then aren't you jeopardizing the safe return of that child? I agree, Alabama Mama 4, but I'll tell you, they need to say something because enough's enough. Their tiptoeing little news release they did wasn't good enough. I mean, this has gotten to a dangerous place, no matter which way you look at it. Katie can't remember some things. I haven't heard any change in stories from Chris and Katie, but damn, Seth has changed a lot. Now his mouthpieces are spilling more. I don't think they've changed stories. I also give grace to these given it's the hardest thing one could go through. Sean was going to ask Sebastian on web sleuths, but Chris stopped him. That's more than likely why we don't have the real facts, and Proudfoes have done as requested by Ellie. Sean's the one running his lips. I believe that, Kentucky Queen. I agree, Miss Norse. Again, the truth is ugly. The truth is so far from the picture that's been painted, and I believe that's what Mrs. Bowersox is saying when she writes that statement about, when the truth comes out, you'll see. And in the meantime, I just don't think people care. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take for all of this to stop. All of this just proves that Sebastian is nothing more than content. Yep. Seth came out the gate lying. Remember, Sebastian and I have internet access at my house and then only played games when I was right there with him. Only played first-person games like Batman and that and blah, blah, blah. And then we find out, nope, he played Call of Duty. He'd be left home alone for up to 12 hours at a time. He'd often go out and tell the neighbors, my daddy's coming home, and he'd make them coffee and blah, blah, blah. I don't get it. I don't understand why they were looking for full-time live-in placement to start. If they needed help, why not just have someone come into the home or hire a partial day service? Well, we do know that he had therapy coming to his home because Seth told us. Something else was going on that they're not being 100% honest about. They've danced around it. They've given the clues to it. But it doesn't paint the picture that everybody's been sold, so they don't see it. We've been sold juvenile photos of Sebastian. We're seeing pictures of him at 8, 9, 10 years old. On one hand, we're being told this kid's like a 10-year-old, and he's autistic, and he just doesn't know, and he just, he's so innocent. And then on the other hand, we're being told it's a mind fuck is what it is. Kim, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Sad thing is, the only way it's going to stop is when Sebastian's actually found, or maybe some people going to jail. I believe they're close. I believe law enforcement is working very hard to solve this mystery. Yep. Then we hear he plays chess and he could beat the best of them. Then we hear you won't even know he was autistic. We hear so many different things. They need to start charging these fools with obstruction. I agree. Sebastian is innocent. Sebastian is a kid who is a product of his environment. Every time Sebastian reached out in hopes of getting help, he was then reprimanded by the adult that he told on. He was deemed a liar, and he exaggerated. And I didn't beat your ass, son. Here's what a real beatdown is. Oh, I only licked him with the belt one time because he lied about not wearing a belt. Can you imagine how frustrating it must be that every time you turn to an adult to get help because you felt you were being abused, that adult told the adult that you were telling on, and then you were abused for telling somebody that you were being abused? My heart breaks for Sebastian. I think he was failed every which way. That is true. He did go a while without seeing Sebastian. They all talk about Katie. Where's the updated photos of Sebastian? Well, my question goes out to Katie and Seth. Where are the updated photos of Sebastian? Isn't it odd that none of the CPS reports are against Katie that we know of? Yes, she is the one the green team goes after. Yep. One sweat with a belt is an abuse. Seth refused to give him meds, sending him into withdrawals, wouldn't let him have incontinence protection, victim of SAUPOS, scared of the dark, abused, and you leave him alone at night for 12 hours. That's heartbreaking. Right, did you beat his ass? I didn't have to. He cleaned his room. Thank you, Lisa. We'll leave it on that note. No one knows what happened, but a part of me wonders if the poor kid got fed up with the adults in his life and just took off. Exactly, Lisa. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Hopefully tomorrow I will be back with updates regarding the lawsuit. And yeah, we'll take it from there. 3Ds, I received an Amazon from you. Thank you very, very much. Self-encompassing narratives are being pushed by one side and have been since the beginning. Some viewers can see the objective versus subjective, but many don't. They accept the convenient explanations. It's almost like he's, I don't know, head of a RICO, an enterprise where they pass down information and go live with, and they all cheer each other on and financially support each other, and kind of like what I'm being accused of. I don't know. Guess reverse Uno.